I am in shock. I am in shock. The Indiana Fever just beat the Aces. The first win for the Indiana Fever against the Las Vegas Aces since I was 22 years old. Aces MVP to refs, Fever is MVP, and Alyssa Smith. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The Las Vegas Aces, the team that was supposed to be the dynasty that never ends, just got embarrassed in front of the entire basketball world. A 27-point blowout? Check. Asia Wilson getting special treatment from the refs and it still not being enough? Check. Chelsea Gray providing absolutely nothing while everyone claims she's better than Caitlin Clark? Big check. While Asia Wilson was out here grabbing players from over their heads and getting away with it, there was a team in Indianapolis that was about to show her exactly what real basketball looks like.
And Asia Wilson, my God, you see how many free throws that lady have? Oh my God, on the stat sheet, she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man, and without Caitlin Clark. You know,
the 81-54 beatdown the Indiana Fever put on the Las Vegas Aces wasn't just a loss. It was a statement. And that statement was crystal clear. No amount of favorable calls, no amount of Asia Wilson heroics, and no amount of legacy bias is going to save you when a team comes to play real basketball.
But this was a big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark. This team is crazy. They are beating the number one team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without Caitlin Clark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally developing a rhythm.
Let's talk about what happened in that third quarter, because this is where it gets spicy. Lexi Hull, a player who's been putting in work all season long, boxes out Asia Wilson perfectly. Clean positioning, perfect fundamentals. She secures the rebound exactly like you're taught in Basketball 101. But here comes Asia Wilson from behind, grabbing Hull from over her head in what should have been a textbook over-the-back foul.
The line a decent amount of times. Asia Wilson, she got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for Asia Wilson, 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field goal, from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10, Dana Evans. Oh my goodness.
Any basketball fan who's watched the game for more than 5 minutes knows what that call should have been. Over the back, Indiana ball, end of story. But what did the refs do? They called it a jump ball. A jump ball. Like Wilson and Hull were somehow in equal position when one player was clearly fouled from behind while securing a clean rebound.
I don't know about frustrations boiling over as more to just like making a point. Well, Caitlin said she got me though, so.
One more though.
She just got a bonus.
And by bonus, she was meaning the Commissioner's Cup bonus, which was $49 or $43,000 per player, because the prize pool was $500,000. And apparently, Steph White just was pissed about the officiating. I don't know if it was Asia Wilson's whistle or what, but
even the broadcasters were stunned. You could hear the confusion in their voices as they tried to process what they'd just witnessed. The contact was too obvious for it to be a 50-50 call, and yet somehow the Zebras found a way to turn an obvious foul into a neutral situation that benefited the player who committed the violation.
The third. Like I said, the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to wheel the Aces back in, and Lexi stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already, and in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And you see her just losing it up here. Losing it. And she got teed up right there. And Caitlin Clark loved it.
If you are enjoying, please subscribe. But here's where this story gets beautiful. The Indiana Fever didn't let bad officiating stop them. They took that questionable call, absorbed it, and then proceeded to demolish the Aces in a way that made every questionable whistle completely irrelevant. Let's break down this masterpiece of destruction quarter by quarter, because what the Fever did to the Aces was nothing short of basketball poetry. In the first quarter, Indiana came out swinging. They scored the game's first 6 points and never looked back. By the time the dust settled, they were up 21-14, and it was already clear that this wasn't going to be the Aces' night. The Fever shot 52.9% from the field, while holding Las Vegas to 28.6%. They dominated the paint 16-4, showing early that they were going to attack the Aces where it hurt most.
Really put it on. Right here, you can see 24 points in the first half for the Aces. I mean, seriously, for the Aces. Points in the paint, 38-20. I mean, it was a dominant win by the Indiana Fever.
Second quarter, this is where the Fever stepped on their throats. They outscored the Aces 25-10 in the quarter, shooting an absolutely ridiculous 81.8% from the field, while Las Vegas managed just 23.5%. They went perfect 6 for 6 from inside the paint, while the Aces could only manage 3 of 13. By halftime, it was 46-24, and the game was essentially over. That's a possession that could have led to another Fever bucket, further demoralizing a Las Vegas team already on the ropes. By calling a jump ball, the officials handed Las Vegas a lifeline. The Aces had a chance to win the tip and potentially swing the momentum. For a moment, it looked like the officiating was about to tilt the game in favor of the defending champs, just as they needed a break.
This defense is playing phenomenal. Oh my God, it's night and day. I think that Commissioner's Cup gave them swag. Now they're swagging it out. I've never seen Natasha Howard so aggressive in my life. This girl is beasting now all suddenly. She is beast moding right now. And Timpson, the rookie, getting block shots, getting steals. Aaliyah Boston is just murking, destroying Aja Wilson. I got a Wilson. I got a nickname for Aja Wilson, guys. You know what it is? Whistle Wilson. Because this lady's always getting whistles. She's the person with the special whistle, guys. Every freaking time. And then she goes to the free throw line. Freaking free throw merchant. I think she's related to SGA. But anyway, she's not playing that great.
For the Fever, this was a classic here we go again moment. Every player and coach in the building knew what they had just witnessed. Lexi Hall did everything right and still didn't get rewarded. That's the kind of missed call that can rattle a young team, especially against a marquee opponent like the Aces. For the Aces, it was a chance to breathe. Down big, struggling to find offense, and suddenly the refs give you a 50/50 ball you didn't deserve. The lead ballooned back to 68-47 heading into the final quarter. Fourth quarter, pure domination. The Aces managed just 7 points in the entire quarter. 7 points! That's not basketball. That's a complete and total collapse. The final score of 81-54 doesn't even tell the full story of how thoroughly the Fever dismantled what was supposed to be a championship-caliber team.
The Aces tried to put a little run together to start the third quarter, and Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hall shut that shit down. They shut it down by hitting some big shots. All right, that steal led to the only 2 points that Sophie Cunningham had, but it was big. So right here, let's start Aaliyah Boston right here. That's Sydney Colson to Boston. She's going to drive into the lane, and I've got to tell you, she gave Asia Wilson all she could handle.
But let's talk about Asia Wilson's performance in context, because the numbers tell a fascinating story. She finished with 29 points on 9 of 18 shooting and 11 of 13 from the free throw line. On paper, those looked like solid numbers. She got to the line 13 times, only 4 fewer than the entire Indiana Fever team. She had a favorable whistle all game long, including that questionable jump ball call. But here's the devastating reality. Asia Wilson scored 29 points, and her team still lost by 27. Think about that for a moment. The supposed best player in the league had what most people would call a good statistical night, and it was completely meaningless because the rest of her team was non-existent.
I'm about to say some words I never thought I'd say. Free Asia Wilson. Free her now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. I never thought I'd say this. If I'm Asia, I'm in that locker room, I'm stripping everybody of their A1s. I'm sure I didn't give y'all these free shoes, and y'all gonna come out here and y'all can't even give me more than 5 points. None of y'all, where y'all at? Y'all can't help me out. I'm reigning MVP. I'm bringing y'all these champions. I took a pay cut for some of y'all to be here, and you can't give me no points. Really, I'm over here. I have 25 points in the third quarter, and you can't give me nothing.
After Wilson's 9 of 18 shooting, the rest of the Las Vegas Aces went 7 of 43 from the field. That's 16.3% shooting from everyone not named Asia Wilson. No other Aces player scored more than 6 points. Let that sink in. On a team that's supposed to have championship depth, the MVP candidate was essentially playing 1-on-5 basketball. Speaking of players who were supposed to provide support, let's talk about Chelsea Gray, the player who some people claim is better than Caitlin Clark. Gray finished with 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting with 2 assists and 5 turnovers. 2 points! This is the veteran leader who's supposed to run the offense and make her teammates better. Instead, she looked like she was playing in quicksand while the Fever's defense suffocated everything the Aces tried to do.
God, with more turnovers than points and assists combined. More turnovers than points and assists combined. We got Point God, aka Point Fraud. And remember, this is probably who the WNBA player said was also better than Caitlin Clark. They said I'm pretty confident they said she was better than Caitlin Clark.
Compare that to what Caitlin Clark was doing from the sideline. While Chelsea Gray was out there struggling to score 2 points, Clark was cheering her teammates, providing energy, and being a vocal leader even while injured. The camera caught her multiple times fired up on the bench, celebrating every big play and keeping her team engaged. That's real leadership, the kind that impacts winning even when you can't contribute on the stat sheet. The Fever's performance without their superstar was a masterclass in team basketball. Kelsey Mitchell led the way with 25 points and 6 assists. Aaliyah Boston added 20 points and 7 rebounds. Natasha Howard, the Commissioner's Cup MVP, contributed 11 points and 10 rebounds. This was balanced scoring, unselfish basketball, and championship-level execution.
Guys, when did Indiana Fever turn into the best defensive team in the NBA? When? I mean, after that celebration from the Commissioner's Cup, we all thought they were going to come out here a little bit hungover. I mean, their defensive prowess has gone up 100%. In the first half, we have Aces down 22 points. We have only beaten Las Vegas Aces 1 time in 9 years. For those who do not know that statistic, we've only beaten them once in 9 years. Their defense is impenetrable. We have 28 points in the paint for the second quarter. We're shooting 90% from the field in the second quarter. This is insane.
But the real story was the defense. The Fever held the Aces to 26% shooting, their lowest offensive output of the season. They forced 17 turnovers. They controlled the paint with a 28-10 advantage in the first half alone. They played suffocating team defense that made every possession a struggle for Las Vegas. This wasn't just one player carrying a team. This was 5 players working in perfect harmony, covering for each other, making the extra pass, and playing with the kind of chemistry that the Aces have been desperately searching for all season long. The eye test backed up the numbers completely. While Wilson was putting up her 29 points in what essentially amounted to empty galleries, The Fever were systematically breaking down everything the Aces tried to do. They were switching seamlessly on defense, moving the ball with precision on offense, and executing their game plan with the kind of discipline that championship teams display.
Team win, folks. Team win. And you notice the team win, like I said, 24 assists on 31 shots. 24 assists on 31 shots. The Indiana Fever hold the Las Vegas Aces to 26% from the field. 26%. This was a Fever defense smothering. The Aces weren't just missing shots. The Fever defense was all over the place. Defensively, we were all over the place. Neither team could hit a three, except for Kelsey Mitchell. Money Mitch can hit the three.
And through it all, Caitlin Clark was having the time of her life on the sidelines. You could see her genuine excitement for her teammates, her infectious energy spreading through the bench, and her leadership presence, even while unable to play. Compare that to the dejected body language of the Aces, who looked like a team that couldn't figure out how they'd gotten into such a deep hole. This game exposed something that's been building all season. The Las Vegas Aces are not the same team they used to be. They've lost their identity, their chemistry, and their ability to play winning basketball when things get tough. And when they finally broke through, they didn't just win. They dominated from start to finish in a way that left no doubt about which team was better prepared, better coached, and better equipped to handle adversity. A'ja Wilson can get all the favorable calls she wants. She can grab players from over their heads and get jump balls instead of fouls. She can get to the free throw line more than entire opposing teams. But at the end of the day, basketball is still played on the court, and team basketball still beats individual heroics.
CC gang! Fever gang! Down goes the punk-ass Las Vegas Aces, everybody! Kelsey Mitchell, the road runner, out there dropping daggers with a 25-piece Boston Market with the rotisserie chicken, baked beans, corn on the cob, mashed potatoes, every drink available. The tiny assassin, Harry McDonald, out there slicing through the defense, getting buckets. A'ja crybaby ass Wilson, hold this L. You ain't nothing but a free throw merchant, goofy Indiana Fever. That's how y'all ball. I don't know what's going on right now, but y'all got the momentum. We can't wait till Caitlin Clark is back on the floor.
The Indiana Fever sent a clear message with this performance. They're not intimidated by reputations, they're not fazed by questionable officiating, and they're not going to back down from anyone. They've got real chemistry, real toughness, and real championship potential. As for the Las Vegas Aces, they'd better figure things out quickly, because this performance showed that they're no longer the team to beat. They're no longer the standard. The Indiana Fever have officially arrived. No Caitlin Clark, no problem. The Las Vegas Aces have officially been put on notice. All the favorable calls in the world won't save you from superior team basketball. Welcome to the new WNBA hierarchy. The Fever are in town, and they're not going anywhere.